Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And again, that I said that I'll be making new videos each week. So sorry for the late video because I was working in some different project. So today's video will be something different. Like I'll be explaining about what is Azure Databricks, because nowadays the industry is totally data centric. And why the industry is data centric, how datas are much more vulnerable, valuable for industry. So in this single video, I'll explain all these things. I'll give the insights of this whole process, that why datas are, how datas uh, got analyzed in the industries and those things. So stay with me, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel. Like I'll be making more videos, more interesting videos in future. So if you subscribe those and press the bell icon, then in future you will get notified early. Okay, so let's start. So why data is much important nowadays for the industry? No, people everywhere talks about data. Like if you went to any place where there are IT guys, or working some IT people. So especially IT people talk of, like, we are working in a big data project. We are working with the big data. We are analyzing those data because the business analysis is much more important nowadays. So why these things? Why industry are much more conscious about those data? Now see, for example, you are using any sorts of commercial e-commerce sites, like it can be Flipkart, Amazon, say anything, any commercial site. So you'll be seeing that each day, suppose you today you purchase something. Now after 10 or after 10 weeks or 12 weeks, you will be seeing that, suppose you used for a certain span of time, you won't buying from that site. So after 10 weeks, after 12 weeks, you went to that e-commerce site, and you find that the commercial site in that, if any commercial site, it can be Flipkart or Amazon or anything. So after you log into their main web page, after you log in through your account, then you will be seeing that the item that you purchased previously, back 12 to 10 weeks back, so that item, that items are related to that sorts of items. Suppose you buy any electronic good, so those electronics, the website will suggest those types of items in your web page, in the first web page after you log into that e-commerce site. So why this is happening? Did you have imagined those things? Like, did you have uh, do any research? So I'll be telling this thing in this video. So the special thing that people want every day, like the industry, or the business industry, that are mainly focusing on, why focusing on this data, because through that, this business data, they can predict the customer analysis, like what the customer wants. Like if the customer trends, like suppose that customer is buying this thing today, so like in future, what they will like prefer to buy, what the customer will prefer to buy, and also to enhance the customer experience. Like there are various reasons a customer, they ask for feedbacks, because that are some types of data also. Like through feedbacks, they work on that thing, they work on that defaulters of those parts, they improve those things. Like they talk with the developers, there are data engineers, data scientists, or data analysts. They just improvise those things based upon the feedback you provide. Okay, so like suppose, for example, as I told the previous example, so what that happened. So like when you are purchasing something, you provide your data, like you purchase something that directly went to a cloud platform. It can be Azure, it can be AWS, it can be anything. So over there, for particular user, data are getting stored in a data lake or in a data warehouse. So suppose then there are data engineers, data analysts, they work on those data. They find that what the customer trend is for a particular customer, what is the trend of that buying that customer is buying. Suppose you in a month, for 10 days, for suppose in 10 days you went to the site and you watch various electronic goods, and only 4 days you just went to any um, what you call clothes section, you watch various type of clothes. So that time what the business model will there are some machine learning machine models, the algorithmic model that where possess the data, like they do some sorts of analysis. First it will go, that data will go to the analyst will some BI tools performing those calculations or the analysis. That will, like, there will be some analysis tool like BI tools, that there are Tabulo or many types of tools that use. So they will, from that they will get the statistics that what that user have purchased within this span of time, within this span of month. So they will see that they have went to the electronic section more. When they'll see that the electronic section you have a keen interest in the electronics part, so the machine learning or the data engineer will predict, data engineer will give the analysis that, hey, this customer predicts much more the customer likes much more electronic goods, because most of the time he spends in the website in that section only. Okay, so show them this thing, predict them this thing, like when there will be, well, we'll be opening that site after 10 to 15 days, you'll see that the website is owned by its own, predicting this thing, suggesting you these things. So how this suggesting predictive analysis is going on? Through this only, through this data trend. Okay, so this way the industry is totally dependent on data, because with data people like the business, they are improvising their business. Okay, so now according to this industry perspective, how these data are getting the analyzed or getting stored in the industry. So there is a question now. So for that reason, there are the cloud provider, as I told previously. There is Microsoft Azure or AWS. So especially if you are talking of Microsoft Azure, okay. So like how data are first moving to that platform, how it is streaming, how it is analyzing, how these data are getting stored, because there are petabytes of data. Okay, so these are not like few GB or few MBs of data. So each day petabytes of data are generating each day, and that's very impossible for a company to handle. But somehow through this platform, through these batches, they created pipelines. So let's see how step by step everything is happening. Okay, first of all, there are various business apps, custom apps, or several you can call sensors, devices that are generally collect those data from us, like from the customers or from users. Like as you can see, like if you go to any portal, you have to put any details, you put the details, or suppose you are buying something, you are in the payment gateway, so that time those things are getting stored. They are getting ingested into the data factory. Okay, so well, ingested in the data factory, which is like where there are data are processing in streams or batches. Okay, in the pipelines, because they are formed in the pipeline. So for the streaming platform, there is Apache Kafka. Okay, so there is various IoT hub working with those streaming engine, that is Apache Kafka. So they ingest the data. Okay, then there are some blob storage, there is data lake, there are like data warehouse. Before going to that, there are blob storage. Okay, DBAP is blob storage. So they just store those raw data, raw stream data. Okay, then there are the main thing that today we'll be working with, that is Databricks. Okay, so in Databricks the data get trained, get prepared, like it is stored in a systematic way, like the useful structured data are bifurcated, there are data gets transformed because data come from various sources. You can see that there are CSV file, JSON file, and many things. Okay, so over there it's getting converted into a simple JSON file, or the company wants to convert it to a particular format, so that format is being getting converted in that section. Okay, in the Databricks section. Then there are some machine learning platform provided by Databricks. Actually, Databricks is a platform, collaborative platform, you can say, open source platform, where you can perform various data science, data engineering thing, machine learning thing, or data analysis. As they provide some SQL database where you can perform some sort of the SQL query, so that just to get hold of those things. Okay, now when your data is totally structured, bifurcated, partitioned, transformed, and goes through various ETL process, then finally you are taking the data to the model and serving model and serving phase, where there are various Cosmo TV you can sell, SQL database, like analysis servers, SQL data warehouse, where data are getting stored for business analysis purpose, because now it is a total business important data. Because first, when you are ingesting the data, those are huge data, and some data are useless. You don't require that. Okay, for business purpose, you have come through this previous processes, and in each process the data getting cleaned up. Okay, data are getting cleaned, processed, and the valuable information is getting taken out from that data. And at last, in this stage, all data are stored into various databases. There are Cosmos DB, there are SQL database, there are SQL data warehouse, there are analytic services. So depending upon the types of data that uses for the business purpose, those things are used. Cool. Yeah. Then it is directly connected to BI tools, like there is Tabulo, there is various business tools that are used for predictive analysis, like for operational statistics. Like suppose, as I told in the previous example, that how you can like portray the trends, like trends of the customers, like what they are buying, what they are sorts of things that they generally buy regularly. So like over there you can get the total trend report, okay, through this BI tools. The most probably the most important tool for BI tool that in nowadays industries are using for statistic analysis or the predictive analysis is Tabulo, because Tableau is very easy to use, and you can get a good perspective analysis from in a dashboard manner, because as like in Azure yeah, you can get the Tableau over there, and there is a simple dashboard. So after performing those data, after taking those data like from the data warehouses or SQL database servers, so those data are getting analyzed, and it's getting perfectly portrayed in the dashboard. And through that dashboard, the company is predicting that, yeah, the user want this thing. Show that user when they will enter directly into the portal, please show those sections. Like if, as I told previously, if I like electronic sections more, show the items, or give discount more on those like electronic sectors, so that the customer get more attracted to that. Okay, so this is how the things take place. And now I will like goes into little deep into the Databricks, where the data are getting transformed, how your data factories are formed, how pipelines are driven off. Like I'm not sure the entire streaming part. I'll just keep the streaming part, because streaming is not like when early, if you are a user, it's very difficult to understand how data are getting streamed through the Apache Kafka or something like that. So now I'll just show how data are getting transformed, how you are creating tables, how you are creating the data frames, how you are analyzing on that, how you are performing various types of shots, like joins, aggregation functions. So in this session, we'll just discuss about the Databricks, which is a kind of service that especially industry uses, a cloud service. That's today now industry use, especially for data manipulation, data management, or any sorts of analysis they perform, or to just create a article environment for data to get work on and to provide to integrate all types of clusters. Okay, talking of the Databricks. So in simple words, if I tell what is Databricks, so Databricks is a kind of cloud service. Okay, so this is specially developed by the Spark developers, like Apache Spark developers previously, and now like if you're talking of especially for Microsoft Azure Databricks, so it's a cloud service that provide you the industry peoples, the industry, to just manipulate data, so to perform various types of data analysis, or to work on data. So suppose like you want to convert the data to various format. Okay, so you want to integrate cluster with that. You want to like integrate various cluster together, and also you want to link various services together through Azure Data Factory. Okay, so you will, so suppose you are working with various type of storage, suppose you are working with the same time you are working with the data lake or data warehouse together. So that time this Databricks will provide some like in Databricks there is a notebook. So through notebook you can integrate various clusters, you can control manipulate various clusters. With the help of that clusters, you can also integrate various link services. Like suppose through that through Databricks there you can integrate the Apache Spark for streaming kind of thing, like streaming data. Also you can integrate various storage accounts. So suppose at a particular time you are given the task as a data engineer, you are given a task that hey, just take the data, business data from various storage, various types of storage account in the industry. So suppose your data is, some part of the data is stored in the data lake, some part of the data is stored in the data warehouse, and some part of the storage is in the SQLDB. So now you have to perform some analysis. So that time through Databricks notebook, you can like you will be given access token, like from after you create the data storage. So each data storage has some accessibility, so that you can access that particular token as a developer when you are working on that. So now after you taken the access, you have to perform some uh, like have to write some code in Python or Scala. Okay, through which you will just integrate those storage. So now as a data engineer, we'll just access those data from various resources, various data resources, and you can take it on a data frame. Like if you are using a Python, so like Lone Book suppose 5000 language, like it supports Scala, it supports PySpark, it supports R, it supports Python and Atlas.NET, but .NET is used for various development purpose, like developing some applications and integrating those applications, or if you are working with some API integration, so that time you should you use that .NET. Other than that, as a data engineer, your main thing you'll be using like most of the times Python or Scala, because you can integrate like data storage from there, and this type of analysis or sorts of like data manipulation can be done through these two types of language in the database. Okay, so after you just get the access token, you just brought the data, like you can store in a temporary data frame. After that, you can perform any types of sorts of aggregation functions, SQL functions over that, or any types of function, data aggregation, data joining up upon various things, or you can store it in a particular table or a SQLDB. You can cleanse that data. So for this reason, Databricks is used. So the what is the benefit, like why this industry is using Databricks only today in nowadays for this like Microsoft Azure Database? Uh, as it is a cloud service, so there are some benefits. The first benefits is the security. As I talking of the access token over here, all other security model. So the security model and the security model they are using is very powerful, and also Like if you are with access token other than with the string key or the access token, you can't access any storage account. So suppose your important credentials, like there is a key vault especially have there where you can store important password over there, so that when you require those things, you can through that string or access key, you can access the key vault or the secret scope over there. So like suppose as a company, you want to store various bank details, password, bank account details of the customers, okay, who are just logging to your industry's website. So that time you can store this in the key vault, or you can store those important credentials of the customers in the key vault. And while accessing, suppose you want to give that access to a particular developer in workspace, so that time you can give that access key to that developer, and the developer, while they will work, they will just uh, manipulate those things. So first thing is the security, that the strong due to the strong security, everybody prefer this, because the third party can't access directly on that. Okay, so if they want to access, they have to ask the developer or the company, like the administrator, that hey, give me that access token. And the second important benefit that like important thing for which this Databricks is used nowadays is very much high performance. Due to this high performance, like 50% uh, accuracy, 50% accuracy more is jotted down, rather than when working with various type of, like if you are talking of the Hadoop. Okay, so if you compare with the Hadoop, so this Spark Databricks work much faster, and you can like manipulate data much faster. Okay, and also due to the auto scaling options, like you don't have to manage the cluster in the locally. You have that access, that you have that control, that you can manage the cluster, like to auto scaling. Okay, so as your service, depending upon the business service, or depending upon the type of analysis we do, the platform will provide the sufficient nodes, or you can call the clusters for that. So the cluster management is very much easy. You don't have to manually import the clusters. And the last is that the various types of data formats, storage. You can store various types of data formats. Okay, so it can be JSON file, it can be Delta file, it can be Parquet files. Okay, so this features is only provided by this Databricks, Azure Databricks. So that's why these are some jotted reasons for why this industry nowadays are using, is transforming everything to the Microsoft Azure. So these are some important things which for which the company is using Microsoft Azure and the Databricks and those cloud services. And in future, I guess every types of industry, whether it's can be small scale industry or a large scale industry, will like manipulated data or those things or any services, they will totally shift to cloud service. Okay, because it's very reliable and it is also very cost effective. And in nearby future, you can see that every company will have their own private cloud. They will borrow, they will purchase their own private cloud. So this way, as the modern technology is developing, so every industry is shifting to the cloud. So these are some reasons why these industries are doing so. And hope, I guess you have understood what I said and what I trying to like convey to you guys. And that's all from this thing. Like in future, I'll also make some videos, like some hands-on videos on this Databricks. Okay, and also like how to like stream data. Like I'll make videos on like Apache Kafka or other streaming platforms, so that how we will understand how the data are getting streamed, how pipelines is created, how the link services are together get integrated. So hope you like this video. Press the like button, also share with your friends, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. And That's all. So tada and bye.